never made it, but I know what it takes. I'm motivated by a mix of emotion. Got my statement, and I'm reading it slow so I can understand it fully. Appreciate my standing, go out of this world and right on time. Oh, never in my life have I seen the sky light up like this. I'm far away from Earth and I wanna know if you exist. Mission control, do you read me? Send me my coordinates lately. Mission control, am I drifting? Tie me to someone who will love me, yeah. Wait, I think I'll last a bit longer. Fine.
Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd family YouTube video. Wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd family part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. It is a Friday, so hopefully you're looking forward to the weekend, and hopefully for all of you that have had the entire holiday week off, you have enjoyed your week off. And now that it is Friday, it's not only week number 2 in the world of college football, but it's also week number 1 in the National Football League. As we all know by now, if we follow sports, college football always gets 1 week of full attention for all the football fans out there until the NFL starts. I don't know if college football will ever be as popular as the NFL. I don't think it will be, but college football is growing in popularity nonetheless. So today, here on the channel, let's talk about some of the games in the world of college football coming up this weekend. Of course, we had a game last night, but I don't know if anybody watch that game at all. I do miss the days of the Thursday night college football games being meaningful games in meaningful conferences. That just doesn't happen much anymore. I know why they don't do it, because the NFL has a big time Thursday night game every Thursday, and you don't want to put 2 college football teams on prime time on Thursday, and then when the ratings books come out, the NFL blows it out of the water. But I think the solution to that would be start your college football game at 6 o'clock on Thursday nights. Because if you start at 6 o'clock Eastern time, the NFL game doesn't start until 8:25 or 8:30. So by the time the NFL game starts, the college football game is going to be late third or early fourth quarter, depending on who is playing. And then some people won't turn the channel if the game is good. They'll just watch the rest of the college game and then watch the NFL game, because the NFL game is probably going to be starting second quarter by the time the college game ends. And don't give me this stuff about school, because with all this realignment, we know that school doesn't matter, so don't pull that bull crap on me. Just start your college football game at 6 o'clock Eastern time on Thursday night. It'll be over by 9:30, so you'll miss 1 quarter, a quarter and a half of the NFL game. But tonight at 7:30 on ESPN2, we have Illinois at Kansas, and then tomorrow we have a slew of great college football games, which makes up for this past weekend when we didn't have a whole lot of good games. This is a Saturday where if you have a TV that can do split screen, do it. If you have a TV that can give you 4 games at one time, do it. If you have a man cave that has 3 or 4 TVs in it, have them all on. There's some good games tomorrow. Now, if you recall, back when I was doing my Clemson prediction before the season started, I talked about in week 2, Clemson playing a game at 2:15, and my guess was the ACC network was going to try to carry a game at 11 o'clock. Well, that's the case. So tomorrow, college football starts at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time. It actually starts at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time when the big noon kickoff comes on Fox. In reality, it starts at 8:15 when the Tiger pregame show hits the airwaves. But as far as actual kickoff, 11 o'clock Eastern Time tomorrow, we have Vanderbilt at Wake Forest. That should be a entertaining football game. And then at 12 o'clock, we have some good games and some not so good games. But there's a slew of games on at 12 o'clock. There's actually one that I didn't write down because I don't think anybody's going to watch it. But a lot of times, 12 o'clock, the game on Fox is good, but all the other games look like garbage. There's actually a couple of good games tomorrow at noon. We have Ball State and Georgia on the SEC network. Then we have the Big Ten network, Youngstown State and Ohio State. And then a couple of good games at noon tomorrow. We have Notre Dame and NC State. That is the noon Eastern kickoff on ABC. Utah and Baylor on ESPN. Troy and Kansas State on Fox Sports 1. Nebraska at Colorado on Fox. And Purdue and Virginia Tech on ESPN 2. Now, Colorado has not beaten Nebraska 3 straight years since, I believe, 86 through 88. So they'll be trying to do something they haven't done in 35 years in Boulder, Colorado tomorrow. Then at 2:15, we get Charleston Southern at Clemson on the ACC network because it's following Vanderbilt at Wake Forest. The ACC network is actually carrying 4 games tomorrow. At 3:30 on CBS, we have UNLV at Michigan. ESPN 2, we have Ole Miss and Tulane. And then ABC, we have Texas A&M at Miami. These are 2 teams that are trying to rebound from last year because they both had bad seasons. If you looked at what they were supposed to do in the preseason, of course, I tried to warn people that neither team was any good. But according to the pundits, they were supposed to be good, and neither team was. So both teams are trying to recover from bad 22 seasons, and this should go a long way for whichever team wins the game, because I do think both teams are improved this year. Then on Fox at 3:30, we have Iowa and Iowa State. Now, these are 2 teams that are bitter rivals, and for whatever reason, they always play in week number 2. I never have figured that out, but it's generally a good game, so I don't think this year will be any different. Iowa State should be a good football game. Then at 5:15 on the ACC network, we have game number 3 in their quadruple header, a rematch of last year's game that was basically a basketball score. Appalachian State at North Carolina. Then at 7 o'clock on ESPN, we have Texas and Alabama. 6:30 on the CW network, we have Cincinnati at Pittsburgh. Since the CW is now carrying college football, that'll be their very first game. And then we have Oregon at Texas Tech at 7 o'clock on Fox. Central Florida at Boise State, 7 o'clock on Fox Sports 1. Wisconsin at Washington State, 7:30 on ABC. Southern Miss at Florida State is the 8:30 game on the ACC network, so that is the 4th and final game tomorrow for them. 7:30 on CBS, we have UCLA at San Diego State. UCLA better play better than they did last week. If not, they might lose because San Diego State's a pretty doggone good football team. And then we have Stanford at USC for all of you that like staying up till about 2 o'clock Eastern Time on Sunday morning. Stanford at USC is a 10:30 game on Fox. And Auburn at California is the 10:30 game on ESPN. So I don't know who your team is, but tomorrow in every single window we have good games. So there shouldn't be a time slot tomorrow where you have to wonder what game you're going to watch because none of them look appealing because it all starts at 11 o'clock Eastern Time with Vanderbilt and Wake Forest, and that leads up until noon. I think Notre Dame and NC State's going to be a good game. I think Nebraska and Colorado will be a good game. Both those games are at noon. And then at 3:30, I think the Ole Miss Tulane game is going to be a shootout, but it's going to be a good game. I also think Texas A&M Miami is going to be a good game. Iowa State's going to be a good game. And then not counting the 5:15 kickoff, just looking at the primetime games, I expect Texas and Bama to be a good game. I think Cincinnati and Pittsburgh is going to be a good game. I think Wisconsin and Washington State is going to be a good game. And I think the late shift tomorrow night, I think Stanford USC is going to be good. And Auburn, California is going to be good. So we have a ton of good college football games on tomorrow, which is good. It makes up for this past Saturday when there was only about 4 games on worth a darn, and the rest of them absolutely blue chunks. Any thoughts on any of this, please feel free to let me know. All I know is it's college football season, and I believe the weather is fixing to start reflecting college football season. Homes for Our Troops is a publicly funded 501c nonprofit organization that builds and donates specially adapted custom homes nationwide for severely injured post 9/11 veterans. Since the 2004 inception, nearly 90 cents of every dollar spent has gone directly to our program services for veterans. Visit at hfotusa.org. And I know I only went over the big main slate of college football, but if you have any predictions on not only the NFL games for this Sunday or Monday, but if you have any early season predictions before it's too late on the NFL season as a whole, as far as who you think is going to win what division or the whole entire thing, please feel free to let me know. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. Why are piggy banks so wise? They're full of common sense. And that does it for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.